All right, y'all, welcome back. Happy Wednesday. Today we will be talking about Tennessee's cornerbacks and our star players, showing you some of their targets in coverage versus Syracuse. I think that they played very well. I know that some people are worried about the injuries that we have to our secondary, but the young guys are stepping up. The new players are also stepping up. Man-to-man coverage looks great. Zone also looks good. There's some things that I'll show you with, hey, man, sometimes in zone coverage, you're just going to give up plays, right? Like the offense dials something up. That's just what it is. But we haven't talked too much about ETSU. I'm more focused on Georgia at this point. I have watched some film on ETSU, but later on tonight for our midweek chat at about 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be going live with my dog Ruck from Straight Up Tennessee. Has a really good channel covering all things Tennessee. Y'all need to go check him out. Make sure to sub to his channel. But he's going to be joining us, giving us some thoughts on ETSU. You know, we'll be talking about the Georgia game and just the state of Tennessee football. And we would love to hear from y'all. Also, Timmy G and J-Pack should be joining us as well. But y'all please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. Let's go ahead and talk about this cornerback room. So, like we said, the two starting cornerbacks to kind of like start the year off, they're going to be missing this game, versus ETSU and probably versus Georgia. I think that Jamal McCoy, there's a very small possibility that he could play in that game. I just don't see it happening. I've said for a long time, if he doesn't play versus ETSU, I don't think that you want his first game back to be versus Georgia. But the other guys are stepping up. So obviously Colton Hood, he had a great game. We're going to take a look at all of his targets. Tyler Redmond, as a freshman, he also played very well. I think that J-Mac, he looked good playing at star, but he could also get some burn playing at, outside corner. We have Sidney Walton, Marcus Gorey, not Sidney Walton, but Tim Merritt. I don't know why I always get their names mixed up. But we have several bodies here that I really like playing on the outside at cornerback. So let's go on and let's take a look at Tennessee's star room. J-Mac's been starting there. I think that he probably will be starting maybe for like the next couple of weeks. But Boot Carter also played really well. So both of those players did play well. Let me make sure that I say that because some people take it personally if I don't highlight J-Mac. But the whole point here, y'all, is just understand that we have several players that we can throw out there. They can play really good man-to-man coverage. They're going to be physical, so on and so forth. And I do think that Tennessee will be fine. The biggest thing versus ETSU is just to stay healthy and then also get healthy. That's going to be, my biggest point of emphasis in that game. So with all that being said, I do want to go ahead and jump inside this film room and just show you all the targets that our cornerbacks and star players had versus Syracuse last weekend. We're going to be starting off with Colton Hood. He was targeted in coverage 6 times, only gave up 1 catch. That's outstanding numbers. This is him in man-to-man coverage, bump and run, press up at the line of scrimmage. So let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. Let me show you how he looks. First and foremost, I think that our guys look great playing man, like I talked about. That's beautiful, okay? Everything from the line of scrimmage to down the field, excellent coverage. Same thing here, right? This is just man-to-man bump and run. And you're seeing the Syracuse is trying to target us down the field. There you have like a slant. Beautiful job there. So it doesn't matter in-breaking routes or just vertical routes, even out-breaking routes. I think that we'll be fine just covering all those bases. What Georgia's going to do, y'all, is they're going to try us, probably Tyler Redmond, just because he's the freshman. They're probably going to try us vertically in that opening drive. That's just what Coach Bobo does. And Tennessee's going to show, hey, you're not going to be able to just go deep on us. Like, we can play man-to-man coverage. We're going to stay on top of the routes. We play with really good technique and things like that. They got to try something else. Now, if it's not just like the outside the numbers, vertical down the field, you'll see a whole lot of in-breaking routes, which I know people feel like Tennessee didn't do the best at stopping versus Syracuse. But Syracuse passing offense is better. Like, just their scheme is a lot better than what Georgia does. So they're going to be pretty limited with the routes that they run. And Tennessee's going to have an answer for all that type of stuff. But outside of those two things, it's going to be a whole lot of wide receiver quick screens, so come up and make the tackles. But here we have another situation with Colton Hood playing man, bump and run coverage, same thing, right? So you're seeing it's not just like a fluke. He's doing it over and over and over again. All of our cornerbacks, they have really good length. Okay, so tall guys with long arms who can run really good hips, really fluid with their, getting in and out of breaks, their footwork and all that. It's beautiful. So here you're seeing that that Colton Hood is playing off man. So this is a little bit of a different flavor, right? So he's playing off. Now, of course, Syracuse wants to run that hitch. That's the only catch that he gave up the whole game for a very, very minimal gain. That's what you want to see. You're fine. Don't give up the, down the field vertical stuff. It's okay to give up the things underneath. Just come up and make tackles, which we did. So this is the first play that he's going to be in zone coverage that he was targeting. And also, as we're going through, man, go back and watch. The coverage everywhere else looks really good. You can look at the safeties, linebackers, all that. We're pretty much locking things down. But here he's playing like a goal line zone. So that's the area. But watch what he does here. You're seeing that the linebackers come over. Great job there, closing things down, getting that bump. So just the coverage, I think, is a lot better than people are giving it credit for. Here, he's also playing bump and run. All right, so that's just man-to-man coverage, right? So I'm saying bumper run. That just means he's coming up to the line of scrimmage and being physical with that wide receiver. But it's excellent job there. So now we're on to Tyler Redmond. He had 4 targets in coverage, only gave up 1 catch. That's excellent number. So here he's playing off man. This is versus Jonte Cook, and this is kind of like a post, post, bang aid, something like that. Beautiful, beautiful job. That's a tough route to cover. Very tough route. Does a good job of driving on that football. Here he's playing zone. This is cover 3. All right, so that's his zone. That's his area. So he just wants to stay on top of the routes. If anything comes to his side, he gets on top of it there. Beautiful. Also makes a play on the football. Safety could have had a pick there. Here, okay, he's playing bumper run coverage at the line of scrimmage. That's man-to-man coverage. Beautiful job with the patience. And here he maybe could have had a pick. One of the things that I love about this defense, especially with Tennessee secondary, that we've already seen so far, and we've talked about it over the course of the offseason, we got to be able to generate points, not just get the turnovers, but try to go score. So Colton Hood, scoop and score. I think that we could get some picks. Same thing. The mindset needs to be scoring on defense. Help the offense out. I think the offense is going to be fine, though, but that will only make us better. This defense can definitely generate turnovers. Like I said, a whole lot of length and players who will make plays on the football, but do your job first. Just don't let them make the catch. But if you can make the play, and then go score, right? So here we have Tyler Redmond. This looks like this is man-to-man coverage he's playing off. So sometimes, like I said, you're going to give up some stuff. So this is a dig here. Very tough route to cover if you're playing man. And I think that he was playing outside leverage man, which means that he wants to protect things coming to the outside. You give up some inside leverage, and then you might have some linebackers there to, maybe help you out with that. But does a good job of driving on it. Like I said, you'll give up some things. Here we have Boo Carter, who had 2 targets in coverage, only gave up 1 catch. This is him on a slot fade versus Jonte Cook. Talked about this. Watch how beautiful this is. Gets on top there, runs the route for Jonte Cook. Gorgeous, all right? So sometimes you might not hear a player's name, especially in the secondary. It doesn't mean that they're not playing well. Heck, you didn't hear, Deion Sanders' name too much because teams just didn't go to him. His coverage was too good. When the coverage is tight, teams typically aren't trying to go to you. So that's part of what's going on here. So on this play, we're going to see Boo Carter playing in a zone. He has 2 areas. So this is curl to flat. So the curl is the one that's closer to the middle of the field, and then the flat is the one that's closer to the sideline. So Syracuse does a good job with their route combinations here, and y'all will see it, where, boom, they kind of make them sink into bite into the inside, and then they run the out behind him. That's just, there's not much that you can do about that. He's doing what he's asked to do. So on this one, this is J-Mac, and this looks crazy. Sorry that it looks so weird. But J-Mac, same thing, just like Boo Carter, 2 targets, only gave up 1 catch, did have a PI on one of the ones on the one that he actually broke up. But I think that was a bad call. But either way, curl to flat, it's the same zone. So what Syracuse does here is they run that vertical route, which kind of pins J-Mac to the inside, and then they run the out on the other side of that. It's hard for him to get there because he's getting picked off. That's again, that just goes back to the scheme. They have a really nice scheme, and sometimes it's just tough to stop things. Here he's just playing off man from the slot, and this is just a fade. Like I said, we do a great job versus these vertical routes. They call this PI. I wouldn't call this PI. That's ticky-tack, but I would say that that's very, very good coverage. So the whole point here, y'all, is just to say that Tennessee's secondary, our cornerbacks and our star players, really, really good. And also the safeties, I think that they played pretty well. Now, most of the passes that were given up was either on the linebackers or it was on the safeties, technically in coverage. But like we talked about, sometimes there's just a hole in the coverage. If you're playing off and they run something underneath, it's tough to come up and stop that, right? So that's just goes back to the system. But Tennessee will know how to slow down what Georgia likes to do. They've done the same thing for such a long time. We'll have things drawn up, I feel like, and just our coverage overall, I think is going to be better this year, even without our best 2 cornerbacks. I just think that we're really deep, very talented. So those are my thoughts, y'all. Please share yours down in that comment section. And don't forget to join us tonight on our midweek chat. We'll be live at about 7:30. Okay, hope that y'all will join Ruck from Straight Up Tennessee and also go and check his channel out. Like I said, Timmy G and J-Pat, they should be joining us too. We want for y'all to chime into the conversation. But please make sure to like and subscribe to this channel, and we'll be talking to y'all a little bit later on. Thanks, peace. Thanks for watching, and please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel because that keeps us growing inside of the YouTube algorithm. And if you did like this video, here's another one that you might also enjoy. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.